Hello, my friends. Time for Thought Shifting Thursday. So, we're talking about, I guess the question I posed in the title of this video is, how's your meditation practice going? And if you read a little further, it says, do you think your life could be improved or enhanced with by ramping up your meditation practice? So, let's just talk. I want to talk about the benefits of deep meditation. Then I'm going to guide you in a deep meditation. And one of the links in the description also brings you to our website page with all of our guided meditations, so you can check those out, including the one that I'll guide you on. And this is kind of a new hello, Nana Leslie and Beauty by Naomi. Thanks for joining us. And Caroline is here. Wonderful. So, putting this out there here, Caroline, I want you to come to our retreat this year. We got to find a way for you to get there. We've got 2 spots that have opened up. So, one of them's for you. We'll figure it out. Waving to everybody. Excuse me. Getting over a cold this week. So, benefits of meditation. So when I was meditating this morning, that's when I decided that I wanted to express about the subject today, because it was just so beautiful. It was so profound, going into that deep meditation place beyond all thought. It's taken me years to get to the place where I can go a minute, sometimes 2 minutes without a thought. But in that time, it is absolute. There's no word that can describe it. We can use the word bliss, but unless you've experienced pure bliss, that's meaningless. It's an ideal, right? But pure bliss for even just a few seconds in deep meditation is amazing. And the thought occurred to me in between moments moments of bliss was, how do you people out there in the world, not talking to my audience probably, but how do people out there in the world manage? How do you manage your life without a regular meditation practice? And not even necessarily deep meditation where you go into complete silent mind, but just any form of meditation that you sit down, ideally in the morning, to set the tone for the day. So I'm going to talk a little bit about simple ways to meditate, and then in the guided meditation, I'm going to bring you into a deep meditation, which I'm pretty sure you're going to get to at least a few seconds, if not more, of silent mind. No thought. So interesting. As I say in my book, The Magic of the Soul, do a quick plug for it. Why is it that the most difficult thing for human beings to do is nothing? To actually be a still, calm lake with a surface as smooth as glass, a receptive state where we're not having to do anything but just be, and again, to take that a step further, to just be in no thought. When I am in no thought, it's wholeness, it's oneness with everything. So not ideas we haven't heard before, but experiencing is a whole nother thing. So we'll get to the deep meditation part. So if you're not meditating regularly, or even if you are, I say that my favorite part of meditation is in that place of deep silence. But the most important part of my meditation is when I simply plan the day, meaning visualizing what I want to happen today, and more importantly than what, the spirit, the energy, the qualities, the feelings with which I want to accomplish what I'm going to accomplish, right? So it's that part of my meditation is very simple these days. I simply think about who I'm going to be talking to, who are my clients I'll be talking today, what activities I'll be doing, and then I'm going to have fun with them. I'm going to have fun with my morning client, my 2 afternoon clients, and in between I'll be doing some admin stuff, and I'm going to have fun with that. It's all about having fun. And back in the day, I would be a little more specific about the qualities that I want to experience: love, freedom, joy. And that's a great way to do it. But nowadays, if I'm having fun, all of those qualities are present. Um, and today, I'm going to have fun doing Thought Shifting Thursday, and here we are. So, so the benefits to doing regular meditation, again, not talking about deep meditation yet, but regular meditation, are that by setting that tone in the morning, meditation is never about just the, 10 or 15 or 20 or an hour time period that you're actually in meditation. It's about setting that tone or achieving a high vibration that we're then aspiring to throughout the day, and until we come to our meditation the next day, right? And again, I know there are people who meditate at night because they have more time and that works for them, but again, I just find the best time is first thing in the morning. If I wait till after I check email, it's not going to happen. So it happens right after I brush my teeth and just do and take a couple of supplements, and then I sit down and meditate. So so the benefits are then creating that vibration and having that clear intention on a day-to-day basis, right? I mean, the reason I said I just wonder how people out there in the world manage their lives in a really healthy, happy way without regular meditation, setting that intention. Maybe people do it in a different way, planning their having goals, having action steps, having strategies. That could be considered a meditation if you're doing that in a creative way. But I find, and many others who do this, by sitting down with eyes closed and setting the attention in a really quiet, thoughtful, creative way, is just more effective than just writing down a bunch of goals, right, in a hurried way. Or even I just say the less hurried in it and the more intentional it is, the more it is a meditation. But, and maybe not, this isn't true for everyone, but for most people, closing your eyes and doing it in a quiet, very thoughtful, reflective way is the most powerful way. So over time, as I've said in many interviews and many different writings that I've done, is that, you don't usually notice the effects of meditation in a short period of time. You might notice it if you're just starting out and you've done it for a month and then you stop. You might notice a contrast between how you felt for that month and when you stopped, right? I noticed that early on. Started meditating when I was 18 years old, and if I'd go a period of a couple months without meditating, the way I described it when I was interviewed, my first TV interview back when I was 27, I think, years old, is, if I stop meditating, then I forget the peace, I forget the clarity, I forget the love, I forget the focus, right, that meditation helps me with. I forget the positive vibration that it creates for me. So perhaps meditation is the art of remembering. The art of remembering that I am peace, I am focus, I am light, I am love, all of these spiritual qualities. It's the art of remembering who I really am. So, so all of that is about regular meditation, consistent meditation. Deep meditation. What are the benefits of deep meditation? Going to that silent mind. And there's all kinds of studies that show going into deep meditation improves. And in my other book that I don't have with me right now, Meditation: The Simple and Practical Way, published by St. Martin's Press, 5th largest publisher in the world. Give a plug for that book. It lists a number of scientific studies that were done that prove that it lowers blood pressure, increases IQ and EQ, emotional intelligence. Could that be benefit to anyone? Helps with memory, all kinds of physiological problems that meditation actually improves. So there's that. And the deeper we go into theta brainwaves, the more physical, emotional, mental benefits it has. Wholeness is what comes to mind as the most important thing, though. Is the more, because, again, that's what I experience in those moments of deep meditation. Sometimes it might be I'm there for 20 seconds and then a thought comes in. And that's interesting because it occurred to me recently that the reason that it's challenging to stay in samadhi or in silent mind is because when the mind goes silent, there's no longer a gatekeeper to keep thoughts from coming in. So it's like, oh, there's a thought, and it's profound because there is no feeling greater than that feeling of pure oneness, pure bliss, pure love, pure light. And so it's interesting because I'll be in that state and then I'll notice a thought come in and just wonder, why did I leave that thought if it feels so, or that space, if it leaves so good, feels so good. So, but I think is that when the mind goes silent, there's no gatekeeper. And if there's a gatekeeper, then you can't be in silent mind, right? So, but the more we practice it, and the more we just get the benefit of how good it feels to be with no thought. And this is beyond mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness meditation is a great way to get there. Just observing your thoughts, just watching them, right, is far more powerful than being in them. And it's a way, and can be a means to get to a place of silent mind by watching one's thoughts. But arriving in that place of thoughts of mind, of no thought, of silent mind, of pure bliss. And again, the practice I'm going to share with you will help you to get there. If you practice this on a daily basis, I guarantee you will get to a place, if you're not already, of 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds, maybe a full minute of no thought, of being in ecstasy, of bliss for that long. I tell you, there have been a few times in my life where I'll go 3 minutes without a thought. And cannot describe the profundity of that experience. So, wholeness. I never feel more whole than when I am in that space of no thought, of pure bliss. And so, the more I experience that in my daily basis, the more that becomes a metaphor for my entire life, experiencing wholeness. It's hard to describe even how this happens, how that process of regular deep meditation transforms one's life. But the simple way to say it is I feel more and more whole. And all the benefits that come with wholeness, healthfulness. I mean, as a life coach, I help people to come up with strategies for creating a healthier life and a more fulfilling life, more joyful life, right? But it all becomes organic when it comes from a place of experiencing that wholeness on a regular basis. Our psyche cannot help but gravitate toward that experience, and therefore I don't even have to set goals for myself to eat healthy, to exercise regularly, to remain as stress-free as possible. It happens naturally and organically, coming out of this state that I'm practicing being in for 15, 20 minutes a day. Probably an average of 5 days a week. So, Naomi says, yes, smart of remembering who I really am. Perfect. Another great TST. And art of remembering who I really am. Pure bliss, wholeness, pure love, pure light. Perfect. Another great TST. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, let's take it into meditation. Enough talk. We don't really learn much. It can inspire us to go to the experience, but the real learning is in the experience. So I'm going to share with you. I've shared this in TST before. It is a practice that came to me, and I do it sometimes like very, very deeply, and sometimes I don't need to. Sometimes when it's time for the silent portion of my meditation, I just go right into bliss. I'm going to share with you the how I started this practice that came to me since I wrote the meditation book. In fact, so it's not even in that book, but it's the most powerful practice to get into that state. And then once there, I'm going to continue to talk just a little bit here and there to share with some of the other practices that help me to go beyond the thought process, the monkey mind. And so, feel free. I always say this when I'm guiding meditations and classes and workshops. Feel free to ignore my words completely, right? And just do what helps you. But if the words help you to bring you a deeper place, and then I'll allow silence so that you can practice that. Okay? So here we go. And you might want to stay in this meditation for a lot longer than I'm going to guide it. So I'll just say now, if you got value out of this particular TST, this video, then feel free to share it with your friends, with anyone you think could benefit from this. And give us a like, give us a comment. Would love to hear your comments about how this is for you. So let's close our eyes. Take a nice deep healing breath. Let out a big heartful sigh. And so just imagine now that you are surrounded by and immersed by the most brilliant crystal white light that you can imagine. It's so brilliant and so bright that it would be blinding to your human eyes. You can only see it with your third eye. And in fact, it requires a surrendering to be even in the presence of this most brilliant crystal white light. And now we add the kinesthetic feeling, sensation to it. Experience the vibration, the frequency, the energetic frequency of pure, brilliant crystal white light. And again, it requires a surrendering to even be in the presence of this degree, of this vibration, of this high frequency. So feel yourself surrender and vibrating at the same frequency of this most brilliant, pure crystal white light. And now see if there's an auditory experience of this most brilliant crystal white light. It might be a tone, it might be a song. For me, it's a high-pitched ah sound. And now see if you can experience all three of these modalities at the same time. The image, the vibration, the tonality of pure, brilliant, crystal white light. And now, without trying to focus on those modalities anymore, or this experience, just surrender into it. Just let the gatekeeper go. Just become. Just let the image, the vibration, the tone of pure crystal white light take you. So you're not meditating on it. It is meditating you. It is absorbing you into its frequency. And all you got to do is let go. Let's let go together. Let's become the light. Surrender into it. If a thought comes in, invite the thought in. Become part of the light with me. If a sensation or feeling comes in, invite them in. I assume that any thought, feeling, sensation that comes into my meditation wants to meditate too, wants to become whole. Allow some silence to practice that. Just surrender. Allow that field to pull you into it, to stretch your personal identity until it becomes one with the all. I often feel a host of ascended beings, of nameless, faceless ones, of archangels, whatever you want to call them, ancestors, master teachers, not identified individually, but just their essence, that are meditating with me. They're supporting me in dissolving my personal identity into the one. Feel their presence stretching you, pulling you, expanding your sense of self to become one with all. Pure bliss, pure light, pure love. Let go. Sometimes I will just say to the forces that be, take me. I offer my individuality in service to the all, to the whole. It's this interesting dichotomy between letting go, imagining letting go, or the intention to let go, and the act of actually letting go or surrendering. But the only thing that takes me to that purest state is fully letting go, surrendering my thought process, to just be light, love, truth, peace, to just be. There it is, pure bliss. All right, my dear friends, I'll let you continue meditating, and I will sign off. We'll see you next week. Love you all.